It's going to show up in those blocks that you can't quite seem to overcome, those obstacles that are manifesting in your life that you can't quite seem to break through, those areas where you are especially hypersensitive, easily triggered, any area where you feel like you can't quite access what it is that you want to bring into your life. A good majority of the time, that's inner child stuff. So, we're going to talk about your wounded inner child, and we're going to look at your wounded inner child, and we're going to do a really powerful inner child healing. But first, I'm going to talk about it. So, we're going to take an example case. And the example case is a young girl. She's 5 years old. She has a doll that she loves so much. And her older brother comes along and, being an older brother, rips the head off of her doll. This little girl is so emotionally traumatized by this incident. She's crying, she's traumatized, she's devastated. She's 5. And it may seem like an insignificant experience, but for a 5-year-old, this can be really traumatic. So she goes crying to her mom, but her mom is too busy arguing with her dad. So her mom doesn't have time to comfort her. All she sees is her 5-year-old's crying. She's just like, her 5-year-old's like freaking out, throwing a fit. She's like, you go to your room and stop crying or get over it or whatever's going on. So what happened? Her brother didn't apologize. Her mom didn't support her, give her a hug. Her brother didn't get disciplined. And this established in her these beliefs. This is how these core beliefs can become established in our early life. So what are the beliefs that got established for her? My belongings aren't safe. Boys are a danger to my what I hold dear. I can't trust them. I don't have support. I don't have support that I need. Life isn't fair. It's not fair. Emotionally traumatic events it's 5-year-old experienced imprints. And she didn't get resolution. There's a part of her emotionally, because it didn't get resolved, that's still there in a loop, feeling the same way. So we're going to fast forward now. She's in elementary school. And what's going to happen? That wound that she's still carrying within her energetics is going to be an energetic frequency telling a story, and it's asking to be resolved. So it's creating similar events in her life. And this is how patterns surface. That inner wound, that unresolved wound, is manifesting externally in her everyday life. And she's in elementary school now. And what happens? The boys steal her backpack, throw it in the mud. And she goes to the teachers and they do nothing about it. It's the same principle. It's the same experience, wounding experience, surfacing again. Because she has that imprinted loop of that wounding experience. And it's coming up again because it didn't get resolved. Because it didn't get resolved. And it's not getting resolved again. Fast forward again. She's in high school. Her boyfriend borrows her car, crashes it. The insurance denies her claim. This is how it happens. And every single time this happens, the elementary school wounding, it's just stacking up on that original wound from when she was 5 years old. Right? So now we got this big old situation going on. And this is translating in her life as like, I don't trust men. I don't have any support. Life isn't fair. And every experience that she has is compounding this belief because it keeps surfacing. But it's surfacing because it's asking to be resolved. That's why it's surfacing. This one question is so powerful when it comes to healing. And it's this: when is the first time you can remember feeling this way? When is the first time anytime you get triggered, anytime a pattern resurfaces, anytime a loop comes up, you ask yourself that really powerful question. When is the first time I remember feeling this way? Because that's going to be a big clue as to when the original wounding event occurred. And this is where inner child healing comes in. And in order to do inner child healing that we're going to do today, we're going to do matrix reprogramming, which I absolutely love. It is an expansion of emotional freedom technique, EFT. And the cool thing about matrix reprogramming is that your brain does not know the difference between a real or an imagined event. And if if our programmed experiences are creating experience cycles in our physical reality, if you could go back and reprogram that to something you actually want to experience, that's what's going to start showing up in your physical reality, which is pretty awesome, right? And I love matrix reprogramming because I get immediate shifts in my physical reality from it. But you got to be strategic with it. You got to be strategic with it. I'm going to walk you through matrix reprogramming before we do our matrix reprogramming. We're using her for an example. So let's say this girl comes to me for a healing session and I'm going to walk her through, or she watches this video, I'm going to walk her through the matrix reprogramming. So what's the first thing that you want to do? So step one is you're going to identify, you want to identify the emotion that didn't get resolved or the pattern. Because she may not know of the emotion. She might just be like, there's this pattern in my life. What I'm going to guide her to do is visit her younger version of herself in imagination and astral and visualization. Visit that younger version of herself in visualization. Go up to her. You want to approach her when she's upset, when she's looping. We want to go to her when she's looping because it's in that moment that she needs that comfort. She needs the resolution. I should imagine going up to her 5-year-old self. I would have her approach her 5-year-old self while she's upset and crying that her brother tore the head off her doll. And give her comfort, give her a hug. But introduce yourself. Hi, guess what? I'm future you. Now, very often they're going to be upset and looping. And when you're upset and looping, they don't always pay attention, especially not a child. It may be just visualization, imagination to you, but to them it's very real. So they're like, they might be like, who are you and what the heck are you talking about? That's weird. Or I don't want to hear it. I'm crying in my doll. Like, I don't have time for some whatever you are. So you want to offer healing. And with EFT matrix reprogramming, they would have you tap. They would have you tap this younger version of yourself, take them through a sequence, an EFT sequence, an emotional freedom technique sequence. But my approach is offering them healing energy and a space to communicate what it is. She didn't have a voice. Nobody listened to her. She was completely disregarded and dismissed. So you want to approach your younger self as young as you can remember, as young as you can remember. Introduce yourself to your younger self as them in the future. And you're just going to give them some space to share. Hold space for them. And the way I offer healing energy is I use the cup, the chalice of divine golden healing drink. I used to give them golden healing light, like orbs of golden healing light, but they didn't know what to do with it. They'd just be like, wow, that's pretty. But they wouldn't always know what to do with it. So then I started introducing to them golden healing light, something in a form that they understand to take into themselves, something they can consume. So golden healing drink. So I just get a chalice of golden healing drink energy and offer it to my younger inner self, inner child. And as they take that and that healing, they start to calm down. They start to calm down and not be so looping anymore. And at that point is when you can have a conversation with them. You're going to open up a conversation and you're going to ask, what's wrong? What happened? Give them the space to share with you their story, their emotions, validate them, give them what they needed. Because a lot of why this emotional energy is stuck and why the inner child is wounded is they didn't get that resolution. So offering that resolution in the form of just holding space, letting them have a voice. You'll notice that your inner child starts to shift and starts to calm down and starts to feel better as you introduce this healing light and give them space to share what's going on with them. Now, here is where the reprogramming comes in because your inner child might start feeling better. You gave her space to share, space to be heard, space to be validated, space to begin to resolve. But let's take it a step further and reprogram. And this goes back to the brain doesn't know a difference between a real or an imagined event and how you can create powerful, positive change in your life by utilizing this approach. So you ask her, if you could have anything that you want, if this could have gone any way that you would have preferred, what would that be? If I was your fairy godmother and I could create anything at all for you, what is it that you would want? And it's so important to ask them because we are going to assume that what she's going to want is for her mom to give her a hug, for her brother to say he's sorry, for him to get disciplined. That's where our conscious mind is going to go to, right? That's what she's going to want. She'll likely surprise you in what she wants. She might say, I really want to just move back to our old house. That's where I was happier. My parents haven't really paid attention to me since we moved to this new house. I don't have any friends here. All I have is my doll, and now I don't even have my doll. Create that. Create that for her if that's what she wants. Give her whatever it is that she's going to need to feel emotionally safe, emotionally fulfilled, happy, just happy. And you'll know because as you start to create it, and you want to create it as vividly as you can, and have her experience that. And you'll feel that shift within yourself as she's experiencing what it is that she wants. And you'll know it's complete because you'll just feel that sense of lifting and that sense of happiness. And then it'll just dissolve and then you won't have access to the image anymore. And that's when you'll know it's complete. And that inner part of yourself that was stuck on loop and that unresolved emotion is going to return. Might take some time to integrate, but you'll have access to it back. I'm going to share with you a quick story about my own journey with matrix reprogramming, and then I'm going to guide you through matrix reprogramming, and then we'll explore your own matrix reprogramming. So my personal story about one of my most potent experiences with it. And it was when I was in my 30s. And I had never been popular. I was always a weird kid. I never had friends. I was never popular. I was always the weird kid in school growing up. And I was doing some matrix reprogramming for popularity because I wanted friends. I wanted to be popular. I wanted to know what it was like to feel popular. So I find this younger version of myself. She was in fourth grade and she's standing at a bus stop and after school. And there's this little girl that she really wanted to be friends with, inner child Leah, wanted to be friends with this little girl at her bus stop because she was cool. She made friendship bracelets and she could do cartwheels, and inner child Leah just thought that was so cool. So this girl's doing cartwheels and inner child Leah is like trying to participate too. So inner child Leah does a cartwheel too. But this little girl was just like, who are you? What are you doing? Like, whatever. Anyway, Leah was so rejected. Inner child, fourth grade Leah was totally rejected by this girl. And I remember she was sitting on a bus, inner child Leah, when I visited her. She was sitting on the bus and crying on the bus ride home. And I approach inner child Leah and I go to give her some, some healing and some comfort. And I ask her what she wants. And it was interesting because she was not even talking about the friend that rejected her. She was talking about just how alone and isolated she felt, and also in her abilities too. And she was very deep in existential crisis. And I consciously didn't remember any of this. It wasn't until I talked to, fourth grade inner child Leah doing this matrix reprogramming exercise that I realized, like, wow, I was in deep existential crisis in fourth grade, trying to make sense of my abilities. And like, why I was hearing everybody's thoughts. And I was beginning to realize that, like, not everybody did. And so I was all, whoa, something's really wrong with me. And that was really kind of at the heart of it. But what did inner child Leah want? She wanted to feel accepted. She didn't want to feel so weird. She didn't want to feel like the odd one out or the weirdo. She wanted to feel accepted for her weirdness and comfortable with it too. And I gave her that. And I gave her friends. But this is the crazy thing about this story that I have to tell you is after I did this matrix reprogramming, and I mean like right after, like it was within days, all of a sudden, like everybody says, like, wanted to hang out with me. I start getting all these invitations everywhere. I start all these people coming over to my house. It was a lot. In fact, it was so much that I didn't even know how to handle it because I wasn't used to it. I was like, where are these people coming from? Where are these invitations? Like, what is all this? Like, what's happening? I don't even know how to handle it. But the point of it is like this matrix reprogramming works so freaking fast. So fast. And that's how powerful this technique is, especially when you hit on the right one, when you find the right one. And I already gave you this scenario when I was going through the example girl. But again, first thing that you're going to do is you're going to ask about an inner child or a pattern. You invited the divine. We set intention. So you can ask yourself, okay, do I have an inner child that needs healing at this time? And I'll do one for myself and I'll demonstrate it for you. And you can do yours as I do mine. But my inner child that I think I should look at is the Leah that loved to skate at the roller rink. I just went roller skating yesterday with my daughter, and I was kind of thinking about it when I was at the roller rink because I hadn't been to the roller rink since I was a kid. But I had some trauma. I had some roller rink trauma. And it was this little boy that I had the biggest freaking crush on. I still remember his name. His name was JD. And he was the popular boy. And I was not a popular girl. But I had the biggest crush on him. And one little popular girl came up to me and she said, you know, he's not going to like you. Like, you're not cool enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not enough. And I was wearing white pants. And I think I had sat in soda or something. So I had this horrible splotch of stuff on my white pants, on my butt. And I didn't know it. It was such a mortifying day after that, those mean girls, those pretty mean popular girls. And they were all laughing at me and they were all making fun of me. And I didn't even know why. I thought it was just because I wasn't popular enough or cool enough or because I liked him and you didn't like me. But then it was, to make matters worse, I had stuff on my pants. That was so traumatizing. Events like that can be traumatizing for us. Of course. Trauma doesn't have to be some major event. Like a major event can really be trauma, but like anything that's emotionally impactful or intense. Yeah, so I'm going to visit that Leah. I see her. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate for you. I'm going to go to the roller rink where she is. Okay, I see. She's in the bathroom and she's like she finally figured out that she has stuff on her pants. And she's just trying to figure out how she can clean it off of her pants. because she's like, it's like stained. It's like, I don't know, red soda or something. And she's like trying to get paper towels and everything. She's in a panic. She's debating, should I just sit in the bathroom for the rest of this skate until my parents come get me? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Do I take off my pants and try to wash them in the sink and sit in here while they dry? And she's trying to figure out how to handle the situation. And I'm just going to go up to her and be like, hey, I'm future you. I kind of took her by surprise. I should have gone a little bit slower. She's like, whoa. She's already a little bit panicked. I don't want to be too much for her. She's just, and then she just kind of dismisses me. Now, when I was a kid, I was very timid and I had a severe inferiority complex. Severe inferiority complex. Because I could hear what everybody was always thinking about me. And I believed them. And everybody was always thinking negative things about me. So I believed everything that everybody was thinking about me. I kind of have her attention. She still doesn't really believe me. It's okay if they don't believe you, though. I'm just like, I have something that can help you. Okay, now I have her attention. I'm showing her a cute new pair of pants. Oh, she's so happy. She like goes in the stall and puts on her new pair of pants. She's so that's what she needed to receive the healing energy, you know? She needed to handle the situation. She needed to feel like, okay, I'm not too scared to, be here and talk to you right now. She's like, wow, these pants are really cute. Oh, you're welcome. She's like, now who are you? I'm like, well, just think, I'll tell her, just think of me as your fairy godmother. She's like, wow, do I really have a fairy godmother? And I felt like a lift when I told her that. So I should say first, are you okay? And she sits down and she's like, no, I'm not okay. I'm just realizing that I'm I don't know how to be popular and I don't think I'll ever be popular and I don't think I'll ever be pretty and I don't think I'll ever have friends and I just feel really alone. I just feel really alone. So she's lonely. And my parents, I was lonely a kid. My only friends were the nature spirits. You know, my brother, yeah, my little brother, like we were kind of friends, but he was too cool for me too. Everybody was too cool for me. I tell her like, do you want some healing for that? Do you want to feel better? And she's like, yeah. So I'm just giving her healing. I'm giving her healing. I'm gonna offer her the chalice of golden healing drink. She's drinking it. And you'll see too, like as they accept the golden healing drink, they start to transform. She's getting brighter. And whereas before she looked like just kind of dull and withdrawn and timid, she's like kind of brightening up now, you know? And she says, "Can I have some more of that?" So, Leah, she always wanted her own skates, but they were really expensive. We were a poor family growing up. And so my own pair of roller skates was something I could only dream of. But she's showing me her feet. She's like, "Can I have my own pair of roller skates? I would love some speed skates. I dream of some speed skates." And so I'm like, yeah. I give me a golden wand. I'm fairy godmother. Just give her some golden speed skates. She is so freaking happy. She is so freaking happy. And she's like skating around in circles. She's so happy. She's so happy. I'm feeling emotional release. I feel like I want to cry. That means I was able to access one of those like deeply embedded emotional energy blocks of not being able to receive what it is that I want. And it's clearing, like I'm feeling happiness. And this is where the reprogramming comes in. Because we're going to create for her whatever it is that she wants. She wants new roller skates. She wants her own roller skates. And I'm like, girl, we're not even going to stop there. You're going to have magic golden roller skates. And I ask her, what else do you want? She says, I want JD to like me. Now she has this whole list of things. She's like, can you do this? Can you do that? Can I have a new outfit to match my new skates? can you fix my parents? Can you fix my family? Can you fix this? Can you fix that? Can you fix all the things? I'm like, yeah, I can fix all the things. Don't limit yourself when you're doing matrix reprogramming. You you are fairy godmother. You can do anything that your inner child wants or needs, and you want to do that. You want to do that. You want to get it as wonderful and awesome and amazing for them as you can possibly come up with. And so I'm like, yeah, girl, you want friends? Here's all the friends. And her new outfit. She's so cool. She's so confident. She doesn't feel poor. So, I grew up in Oregon and there was a lot of classism in Oregon. The people who had money were very pretentious towards the people who didn't have money. And I grew to associate people who had money as being mean people because those were the people that were mean to me and judgy of me because we were a poor family. And so they judged us if, you know, because we were poor. And the kids were mean to me because we were poor and we didn't have money like them. So we weren't cool like them. But what's that going to do? That's another inner child block. That's going to make me not want to have money because I don't want to be a jerk like they were. But I need to extract that. I need to separate that because it's going to create a prosperity block within myself. And it has. And I didn't even realize this has been a hidden prosperity block that I've had. I've never really wanted to achieve that much profit or prosperity in my life because I didn't want to be a jerk. Like everybody who judged me when I was a kid because we're a poor family. So, but she's so confident. She isn't, she's like, I'm not poor anymore. And I'm feeling an emotional release from that too. That's giving me an emotional release too. When you're doing as much creating fairy godmothering as you can for your inner child to where you feel that, like you go through that release. Like I kind of feel like I want to cry. I'm feeling that emotional release. It's kind of surfacing a little bit, but it's quick, it clears quick. Like it comes up and then it's just kind of gone. You got to tell your inner child, you deserve this. You deserve this. It's okay. And now the vision's dissolving. So I completed that. I completed that. Now, how's that going to translate in my physical reality? Well, it's going to help my relationship with money for sure. It's going to help my relationship to worthiness, building friendships. That's how it translates. So you'll see moving forward these radical and dramatic shifts in your physical life experience after doing matrix reprogramming. Really quite incredible. So let's do you. Okay. Did any of you do the inner child healing as I was telling my story, or were you really just watching my story and you did it, Shantel? How did it go? Were you able to contact an inner child? And
I guess I did. You know how I've been going through a lot lately with like self-judgment, others' judgments, and all of that. So I did pinpoint it to back to my childhood when I was like super, super young, probably like the same 5 years old, and then how it just all spiraled from there.
were you able to give her some healing and some comfort and some reprogramming or
Yeah, I did. I do feel like I need a little bit more help, but it was definitely a good shift
oh good. Oh good. Yeah.
because she wasn't really sure exactly what she wanted. Because like when I was that young, I would just feel like I wasn't ever accepted. I was like kind of like you, like I wasn't popular, wasn't liked really, and then I would just get into like these really depressive state of mind, and I would just like cry because I felt like nobody cared about me, nobody loved me. My family was the same, my family. So, I fought with my brother. He hated me. My parents weren't exactly affectionate either. So it started at that young age. So she doesn't really know like what she wanted.
Yeah, I mean if you've never had it, how do you know? Huh?
Hmm.
Huh? Okay. And I do want to mention one more thing because remember how our example girl, the original event was the doll, but then she had that event in elementary school where the boys steal her backpack, throw it in mud. and then another one where a boyfriend wrecks her car, right? So to get the most out of matrix reprogramming, you don't want to just reprogram the original event. You go to every single event that you can think of, that you can recall, and you're going to reprogram those too. So with her, after we get her happy, then we're going to go to elementary school and we're going to heal her the same way. And then we're going to go to when the boyfriend stole her car, heal her again the same way. Get as many of those events in that same series as you can to get the most powerful, comprehensive, clear, and healing from it. So I'm going to start with Allison. Allison.
Well, that's funny that that's what you saw because I had the same issue. I was like, I don't know, I can't decide on what specific thing I want to work on. But when you were telling the initial story about like the girl and like her brother like rips the doll's head off, I had something kind of similar like that happen to me where I drew out like the letters like of my school on this piece of paper and I decorated them all cute and I taped it to my bedroom door. And my brother, who was younger than me, couldn't read, but he thought for some reason that it said no boys allowed. So he ripped it off the door, ripped it to pieces. And I tell my mom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, look what happened. And she's like, well, honey, she thought it said no boys allowed, but it didn't. And so it was destroyed. He never got in trouble. Like, and like, that's not fair. Like, what's going on? And then a couple years later, my brother gets glasses at the eye doctor. He's embarrassed about them. And when we come home from the eye doctor, I run outside to go play. And he starts crying and he tells my mom, she's telling everyone I got glasses. And so I get called back in the house and she's like, he said you were out there telling people he has glasses and he's embarrassed. I'm like, what? Like, I don't care he has glasses. I just wanted to play with friends. So things like that were like, I don't know what we would call that pattern, but either like I get in trouble for something that I didn't even do, or he did something like hurtful that then he doesn't get punished for. I don't know like what exactly we could call that kind of pattern, but
Oh, like
when you were telling
sibling.
the story, like that's what came to mind.
Ooh, sibling sabotage.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Shall we call it sibling sabotage?
yeah, that sounds perfect.
Okay, so yeah, so let's go to Allison. And how old were you when you put it on the letters on your door?
Maybe
Okay.
third grade.
Okay. Okay, okay, I got her. I got her. She is pissed. She is so mad. She is like seething with resentment towards her brother. And her parents aren't helping any. The parents are actually making it worse because they're invalidating your feelings. She feels invalidated. And so she's really in that angered state. So I'm just I'm just gonna go sit in the room with her and give her, and she's like, I should just run away. I should just run away. They wouldn't even notice. They wouldn't even notice. She was mad. She was really mad. So she so I'm just gonna introduce myself to her. Allison, I'm just gonna tell her, hey, you know what? I'm your I'm your friend from the future. Oh, that got her attention. She likes that. She thinks that's pretty cool. Because she's already, very advanced in consciousness. You're born advanced in consciousness. That got her attention. She thinks that's pretty cool. She thinks that's pretty interesting. She's like, I have a friend from the future. I'm like, yeah, I'm your friend from the future. And she's just kind of like silent, like, okay. And I was all, well, do you know that I could be like your fairy godmother and I can help you fix it? And I'm just going to give her an opportunity. Like, do you want to share with me how that feels? She's like, yeah, I just feel like there's no point in trying. So like asking her, do you want some healing? Do you want to feel better? Because if you say like, do you want some healing? They might be like, what are you talking about? So it's like, do you want to feel better? She's like, well, do you have magic powers or something? And I'm like, yeah, I have magic powers. So I'm gonna tell her here, do you want some of this? And I offer the chalice of golden healing drink. And she takes it and she's like gulping it, gulping it, gulping it, gulping it. She's just like chugging, chugging, chugging. She needed that healing energy. She needed a lot of healing energy. She's chugging them down. Okay, she stands up and she does this like really big stretch. And she says, I'm not so mad anymore. I was like, good. That's great. Is there something else that you would like? Like if you can have anything however you want it, what would that look like? She's really deliberating. She sits down on her bed. She's like, I'll ask her, do you want your picture fixed? She's like, eh. She's like, is it wrong to wish that I didn't have a brother?
That's literally what I was thinking right now. I was like, make him go away.
I'm like, I mean, I'm gonna ask her, is that really what you want though? Or is it that you want to be the star? That you want to be the star of your parents' eyes? Yeah, she's saying to me, yeah, he wouldn't be so bad if I was the star. Like, yeah, you can be the star. I mean, he can be loved in his way, but you can be the star. You can feel like you're the star. That you can feel like you're the one that's cherished and that they put you before. You just need to feel like you're put first. She stands up. She's so cute. She so stands up. She's like, yeah, I want to feel like I'm put first. I want to be put first. I've never been put first. I want to be put first. Like, yeah, you can be put first. And she's so happy. She like throws herself on the bed and she's like, oh, how amazing that would be to feel like I'm put first. So, okay, so our parents come in the room and they're like, hey, we're going to go to dinner tonight and you get to choose where to go. So you sit up and you look at them and you look at me like, whoa, that actually worked. I'm like, yeah, we're going to make it however you want it. And you're like, I want to go here. Your needs are put first because you deserve for your needs to be put first. And you're getting the feeling of that. And she's getting the feeling of that. And that's what we're really trying to arrive at. So, and yeah, see how it can kind of be a little tricky to get there. But once you get there, it's like, all right, we got there. I'm asking her. Okay, I'm asking her, is there anything else you need? She's like, no, I'm good. You can go on to my future self down the line. See you in the future, future friend. So then what's the next event that happened, right? It was the glasses incident, right? It was another incident that came to mind. She's like, I just want to step on his glasses. She's mad again. She's mad at him again. I'm just like, it's okay to be mad. You have a right to be mad. You have a right to your feelings. You can feel your feelings. And I'm just gonna offer her a golden chalice. She drinks it. She's chugging them again, chugging them again, chugging them again, chugging them again. And then she's like, "Hey, I remember you. You're my future friend." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm your future friend, but I want to go to this slumber party or this birthday party." So she goes. So I'm just taking her there, and she's having so much fun with her friends. She's having so much fun with her friends, and it's like her brother doesn't even exist. She doesn't like the family stuff doesn't even matter as much because now she's building her own identity, her own community, her own circle. She's feeling happy now. Is there an incident? I mean, I just from knowing of just from knowing you, I can think of another incident, right? And I don't know if there's one in between, but what's another incident where you didn't come first, right? Your ex. He didn't put you first, did he?
That's accurate.
Yeah. He was just the archetype of your mom not putting you first. And then whoever he was not putting you first for was like the archetype of your brother again. So there's that, right? So I'm going to visit her. She's like, again, the anger, the internalized anger. And it's interesting too, because like she was familiar. We get so familiar with a pain or a wounding that even though it's uncomfortable, it's a familiar uncomfort. It's a familiar pain. So we start to think like, we start to kind of embrace it. It's like it's like our own self, like we Stockholm ourselves to our familiar pain, right? So it's kind of like see that here with you, where she's just like, yeah, this is what it looks like. But I'm giving her just some golden chalice of healing. Oh, she's like, oh, I feel so much better. Thank you, future friend. So you're older now, right? You're like, who are you anyway? I'm like, I'm your future healer friend. Were you in that relationship before you ever came to me for a session, or did that relationship come after?
Um, I did meet him before our first session. We were like broken up, not talking while we had our first session, and then later I got back with him.
Wow. That's cool because like where I'm visiting you is maybe like right before you came for our first session. Isn't that crazy how like isn't that just doesn't that just blow your mind for a minute? Like I'm like I'm your future healer friend. You'll meet me soon. You'll meet me soon.
That's so cool.
Right? Because that's so I'm talking to that younger version of yourself that was in that maybe broken up state right before you came to me for your first session. And it looks like you have opportunity to express all of your do all of your explore all your passions and your interests. And I'm getting a shift and it feels good. Yeah. So we went through. Oh, hold on, hold on. There's a little bit more because now he's calling you the one, the right, Mr. Right. Mr. Right is calling you, or he's no, he's texting you, and you get your text, and he just says, and the text is saying, I just want you to know that you always come first. I just want you to know that you always come first. There's the emotional release. There's the emotional release. I just want you to know you always come first. You always come first. You're always going to come first for me. And then just feeling that and taking it in and embracing it and allowing it. Like you always come first. Yeah. Yeah. Now the angels are giving me a thumbs up. Yay!
Thank you. That made me cry at the end.
Isn't that great though? Like that's great. That's you're clearing that. That's
Like I didn't have any kind of emotional release until at the very end. You're like, oh, you got this text, and it says like you always come first, and I was like, oh my god, what? Yeah, that was it.
yeah, that's what we
Thank
needed.
you.
That's what we needed. Because you didn't get that. Because it felt like probably felt like your brother was always coming first.
Well, and I didn't even make that connection. I was like, this doesn't even seem like a worthwhile thing to like do this whole matrix reprogramming thing on. Like, it's just my brother being annoying, you know? But it wasn't so much that I needed to come first. It was more just like that I mattered, that my feelings mattered, that, you know. Um, so yeah, thank you. That came full circle in a way that I was not expecting.
And then that's how inner child healing is. Right? That's the cool thing about inner child healing is you can uncover those hidden blocks. Thank you for sharing, Allison. Okay, Angie, let's take a look at you and your inner child. Is there a specific something that you can think of or or when you think of an inner child wound, is there a certain time in your life or history or in your history that you want to start at?
The only thing that kind of keeps the word that keeps popping in my head is bullying.
Okay.
I was very much bullied and judged and abused by my older sister. Um, and then I also bullied when I was younger too, and then as a teen.
You bullied other kids?
Yeah, and my cousins.
So you were bullied and then you became a bully because
Yeah,
that was what you learned, right?
yeah.
Yeah. This this is really potent and insightful too, because if you feel bad about that, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up calling in life experiences to punish yourself for it. But let's see what we uncover. So let's go
Okay.
into bullied Angie. How old do you think? Can you think of an age or an incident that we can go into?
Not really, no.
Okay.
No, there was not.
Okay, I'm just gonna go find her and see what we can find. Okay, so I found her and she's just like, well, she really looks up to her older sister. And
Yeah, sadly.
so she's so if this is how her older sister is, well, that's how she wants to be. She wants to model after her older sister. That's why her older sister was acting that way to give her some kind of control over her life or some kind of a sense of power in her life. because she was always being overpowered by those above her. So she wanted to overpower those below her. And so it was just part of that culture. And that's what she felt like she needed to do, but that's what she learned from. So it's just something that was passed down. And so I'm just going to go to bullied Angie and say, well, yeah, but do you like being bullied? And little Angie's like, no. And I'm going to ask her, do you want to talk about it? And she's like, yeah. So she just starts going, chattering. She's telling me all the things that her older sister does to her. It's like, it's a lot. She's just like, I mean, it's so much. And I can't even track. I just can the sense that she's talking a lot in there, and she's just telling me all the things. And I'm okay. I'm like, okay. So, do you want some healing? I just offer her a chalice. She stops talking and she looks at it and she's like, ooh, what's that? I'm like, it's it's a chalice of healing light if you want it. And she grabs it and she chugs it. She pulls something off her back, so like she's clearing. And so offering, I'm like, more, and she drinks more. And then I'm like, you can have as much as you want. It's healing energy is available in infinite supply. So she's like, yeah. So she drinks the whole one and she pauses. It's like she takes it in and then she pauses to integrate. And something interesting, she goes over and gets this little box. And this box feels like it's representative of this like programming that she's receiving from her cousin, right? So, or sorry, your older sister programmed, put this programming in you of bullying programming. And it's causing you to want to bully others too. But now you're ready to clear that. You're like, I don't want this and I don't need this. After you receive the healing that you needed, you're recognizing that, okay, this programming that I received, it's not mine. I don't want it. It's not serving me. And I'm ready to let it go. So you're like handing it to me and I'm like, well, I don't need to take it for you. You hand it to your angels. Or you just went and put it in the trash. Like, and then like energetic disposal. We'll take the trash, offer the angels, please clear that. And then you went outside and you ran to play with your friends and you're happy now. Oh, you're feeling bullied by your mom? Is your mom a bully?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
both of them, my mom and my sister.
Oh, okay. So you're feeling bullied by your mom and you're like a teenager and you're feeling very bullied by your mom and you're mad. But like that's what I'm getting from you is like you're just like this is just the way it is.
Yeah, my mom was bullied by her older sisters as well.
Oh, wow. So this is an ancestral like repeating pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the one from your sister, but then you also got all these from your mom, this patterning, all this pattern wounding. So you're taking like 5 or 6 of these boxes, and these boxes are symbolizing like all that programming, okay, that bullying programming. So you're putting them all in the garbage and you're handing them to your divine team. And you're saying, wow, I feel so much better.
Friendships, like other girls. It's
So it's
always been other
mostly,
girls.
okay, so it's a female. This is a female
Yeah.
thing. This is your relationship to the feminine, not the masculine. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the angels want me to speak to this. I'm gonna give them. The angels want me to speak to this thing. Okay, this. It's as if there's a sense of scarcity. It's as if you only have so much of your divine feminine power available to you, and then you have to kind of fight over who gets to have it. And that's so whoever can be the biggest, strongest bully gets to take the divine feminine from the other female members. So they're just kind of going around stealing each other's sovereign feminine power. And that's what it's looking like on a psychic level. So your mom, her. So is this a theme along your family line? This is a little deeper than inner child healing because we're getting an ancestral here, but it's ancestral slash inner child slash ancestral. But bringing in some healing energy, because we're going to gather up all of your family to right here. This conference for all of your family, along your mother's line, right? It's your mother's line. And then asking all of their angels and guides to come and give them all healing. And asking them if they would like to just release and surrender all of the patterning that they received. for bullying. And I see them all taking all of their chests that and putting it all in the trash before him. Like they're like, yes, I'm ready to release it. I'm ready to release it. Because it's not helping anybody. And then, but everybody, guess what? You all get your power back. You all get your divine feminine power back because everybody's got a little bit of everybody's, but nobody can really be in their full power because everybody's kind of always stealing everybody's. Yeah, and I got a thumbs up for you, Angie. That that completes it. So for you, it was more of like a ancestral inner child that we did. Let's look at you, Shantel. Inner child. I see. Okay, do you have a starting point or
I think everything starts at the point when I was super young, like I said, like 5, 6, where it just begins with the family and, and just feeling like, um, not accepted, not loved. My brother was the golden child. And
okay.
then, growing up to hate each other. Like we would literally physically fight growing up together.
Oh my
And he
God.
would, he would rat on me, and yeah, it wasn't a good relationship.
Okay. So let's check. Okay, so I see inner child Chantal, and I see her with so many walls around herself. She's built up all these walls around herself because to keep people out. And so I approach her, and I can't even really reach her through these walls. So I'm just, but I could like kind of like peeking in over the top, and I'm like, "Hey, you okay in there? You're so sweet though. You look up, you're all, yeah, I'm all right." I'm like, "Can I join you?" You're like, "Oh yeah, let me see if I can make some room." You like kind of scooch over because you're like like you're in your little fortress. So I kind of go in your walls with you, and I'm sitting there next to you. I'm just saying like, "Hey, I'm your future friend," and you're just all, "Oh, that's cool." You're not really that impressed. I'm like, and I'm just gonna offer you a golden healing chalice, and you look at it, and you're all, "What's this?" I'm all, "It's magic. I'll help you feel better if you want some." And you're like, "I don't," and you just like throw it, and it breaks. Well, do you want to talk about it? Emily, you want to talk about it? And you're like, "No, not really." And I was like, "Well, what if I'm your fairy godmother and I can make anything better for you?" Uh, okay, so you stand up and you say, "You're not my fairy godmother. Nobody's coming to help me. Everything, and so you're just kind of having this moment of anger. So it's interesting because there's some dude, like at first you're like sweet and receptive and innocent, but then once I'm in, you're like, "Get out." I think I'm a little too close. I don't think you feel very comfortable with me in there, even though I did. So I'm like, "Okay, I think you feel really uncomfortable with me inside your walls. I'm going to go ahead and step outside of your walls." But now you're like, "But wait, no, don't leave." But this is all like total kid stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, so I'm just holding some divine golden healing light and just in a sphere, and I'm just holding it in my hands. And so you take it and you pick it up and you eat it. And then it looks like, and it looks like your walls are starting to dissolve a little bit. And you're saying, "Oh, that actually helped." You're like, "Oh, that actually helped." I'm like, "Yeah, I got, divine healing energies available in infinite supply. You want some more?" And you're like, "Yeah." So I give you, for some reason, you don't want the chalice, but you'll accept it. It's like you want to take it in like their little golden healing energy spheres of food. You'll eat them. And I see a lot is clearing from you as you eat them. A lot. It's just like poof, poof, stuff's just clearing, 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 clearing as you take in that healing energy. And you're getting brighter. And your walls are coming down more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And you're saying, like, "I didn't realize I had so many." And you're more focused on how they feel. You're not focused on how you feel. You're saying they don't love me, they don't like me, they hate me, they're mean to me. Um, so I'm just asking you, well, if you could have it however you want it, how would it be? So you're like, I would be wanted in this family. I would be wanted. I feel like I was unwanted. Like I don't ever feel like I was ever wanted around or any of it. So okay, let's make you a part of this family and make you wanted. You kind of like laugh. You're like, how you gonna do that? I'm like, I'll show you. Look. Everybody's like, Shantel, come here. What did they call you? Did they have a nickname for you?
It's just Sean.
Sean. Yeah. They're like, come on, come on. We got your birthday cake ready for you. It's so funny though, because she's like, this is weird. This is not normal. I don't even know if I want this because this is just too strange. I'm like, okay, well, what do you want? You can have it however you want it. You're like, maybe I just kind of want to be left alone, to be in my own space. And really for her, she needs a psychic piece because if everybody's got like a lot of psychic tension and static and like unspoken animosity, like kind of going back and forth at everybody, you're always feeling that, you're always feeling that, you're always feeling that. And okay, so I think that I'm getting, you know what I'm getting is that it's almost like your mom resented or didn't want for you to have closeness with your dad. Like she wanted to prevent you from having closeness with your dad. Oh, maybe like
Yeah,
she was.
I'm the only one that actually like I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, yes, I cared for my dad.
So if your mom had resentment towards your dad, she wanted you to have resentment towards your dad too, because she did.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
and does
She wants
she?
to control the dynamic towards him. You know what I mean? Like she wants to bully him for what he put her through when we were young, when we were kids.
Oh, okay, so she wants to punish him forever,
Yes.
and she resents you for not doing the same.
Yeah.
So your parents were split, and you split time with your. Sometimes you go with your dad.
No.
Oh, they were
They
together. They were together.
they
She just hated him.
yeah.
Okay. So she didn't. Okay, so she wanted to block your relationship or your closeness to him because she wanted for you to feel this towards him the same way she felt towards him.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, so I see a lot of severing between you and your mom because almost like she's almost like, well, if you're not gonna like basically it's like you're a traitor, you
Yeah.
know? It's how she's acting. So I cut you off kind of like emotionally or whatever. And so bringing some healing into it and then giving you the opportunity to have that closeness with your dad without it being interfered with and then and without you having to feel guilty about it. Think, you know? Okay. And then healing with your mom. Yeah, it's almost like she can't see you. She can't see you for who you are. Like she's never really been able to see you for who you are or get you. She doesn't get you. Or if she has resentment towards your dad and you remind or if she has resentment towards your dad and you remind her of your dad, then her resentment that's actually towards your dad is going to be also going towards you too. And then moving you forward with your divine team to work through all of that. And then also, there's always going to be a lot of invasive energies. So angels, please clear any invasive energies from all of these inner child wounds. But now they want me to like go back to that younger inner child version of yourself, like that young version of yourself. And oh, she knows okay, so now what she wants is for your dad to have never been that way to your mom. Because if that's what started it all, like let's go back and rewrite that part of history. That shifts everything. And we can do that. So so that's what she wants. She wants for your dad to have done right by your mom. Godmother, we can make it as good as we want it to your mom. And that's the shift. That's the shift. That's shifting everything. And that's what she needed. That's what Shantel needed. Because with your dad being good to your mom and creating that and the matrix reprogramming, that's gonna just dissolve any resentment from the mom towards you, towards your dad, towards everything. Yeah, there we go.
And I feel like that's the ancestral stuff too coming up more.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so big hug. Yeah, I'm getting a thumbs up, Shantel, and your angels are saying they're going to continue to work with you on this more deeply. So let's go to Odilia. Is there a specific one that you want Odilia to do or that you were able to get? Or
No,
can you, okay, can you think of an age or give me a starting point of anything at all?
maybe like under 10. I
Okay. How old were you? Okay, under 10. How old were you when your parents split?
think I was like 13.
Okay. I'm thinking that's the one we should go to.
Okay.
So, okay. So she looks, did it take you kind of by surprise? Or did you not expect it? Did it kind of hit out of the blue?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because she looks like she's like really confused. Like she felt like she needed, it was like kept from her. It was like kept from her. And she didn't know what was going on. And she felt like if she just didn't understand why nobody told her. And why she felt like she was the last to know. There's this information thing that's really bothering her. Like, if she would have just known. So I'm just taking a moment to hear her out, and then I'm offering her some healing. Okay, she's taking a drink. She's drinking her golden healing light. Her golden healing light. She's drinking it. She's drinking a lot of it. It's like it's just like her whole world turned upside down. Her whole world, it's just turned her whole world upside down. And she didn't know how she was supposed to process it all and how it's going to affect her with her. She didn't know, like, well, how am I supposed to be to my mom? How am I supposed to be to my dad? How's it going to work? I'm so afraid for the future. I'm so afraid for the future. Like, I don't know what's going to expect. I don't know what's going to be. I don't know what's going to happen. This is really traumatic for her. So this is helping her to calm down. And I'm asking her, like, well, if you could have things be however you want, how would they be? And she'd just be like, but this wouldn't happen. Everything would be just the same as it was. I wanted things to be just the same as it was. Like, why is everything happening? Like, I don't want this to happen. Well, it's okay. You can create everything the same as it was. But really, what she's looking for is that sense of security and safety and familiarity and comfort and family and community and love. That's what she needs. That's have that sense of. And all of that is feeling threatened by this. So giving her that. Yeah, she it's funny too, because she runs into like the living room to see if both her parents are there. And they are. Just check. Like, did that really happen? Like, are they really okay? Like, yeah, they're okay. Look. She's like, oh, thank God. And she's just saying, like, that's all I needed. And that's all she needed. That's all she needed. And what's interesting is that by creating this scenario, it's just giving her that sense of, like, even if things aren't that way, right? It's okay because she still feels that. She still feels that sense of safety and security and family and comfort. And that she's okay. And she doesn't have to be in fear for the future. There's a little bit more for you. Let me check. Oh, okay. You're going and you're getting under your bed and you're pulling out this big box under your bed. And it's all of that programming, okay? Because it's that story. It's that story. It's that story. You're like, I don't want this to be my story. And well, it doesn't have to be your story. And that's what this is about. Is like, don't live your mom. You don't have to live your mom's story. You don't have to live your dad's story. We'll inherit it and we'll live it. We don't have to. So taking that, handing it to your angels and guides, clearing it. But this is that ancestral inheritance of the woman having the rug pulled out from under him. No, you know what he wanted? He wanted to be told. He didn't want to be left out of the loop. He just wanted to be told. So let's give you that so you can have that information so that you can know so it's not happening without you being able to mentally prepare for it or like, you want to be told. So they're sitting down and they're telling you and respecting your maturity. That, you know what? That's the shift. That's the shift. That's what you wanted. You just wanted to be told. You just wanted to be kept in the freaking loop. And there's a good shift there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, because maybe they didn't tell you. Or maybe you had to find out the hard way. And then what's that going to do? It's going to go or in a way that like sucked. So And what's that going to translate is moving forward in your life, right? Not being told, not being told. And you can probably think of instances where you weren't told, maybe with an ex or a friend. And that's why that's a big trigger for you, is it is feeling like you're being left out of the loop and you're not being included. And something you should have freaking been included in, something you should have freaking been told about, giving you that, the having you the respect enough for you to offer you that. Yeah, and that's what you needed. And I'm getting a thumbs up. Okay, there we go. That's what we needed for Odilia.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. SB, do you have one?
Oh, girl. What? What's really cool though is that as I'm hearing everybody else's experiences, thank you, by the way, for everyone sharing. It really brought up a whole lot of similar experiences. And, really it goes all the way back to just the family I was born into violence, born into pain, and all of that. And I'm getting an emotional release right now, just thinking and talking about it. And the experiences that, and so it's interesting how being born into violence and in the family that I've been born into um, has replicated with life. Not being born into love, not being born, but being born into a violent situation, essentially, right? Um, so that right there, I think, has been the biggest thing that has come up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how can we reprogram this? Did you find an inner child?
Oh yeah, like the day I was born. So
Yeah.
I've been working on giving it seems like every year I've had to go through just giving myself that healing. Um and it's helping. But I'm still very like right now I'm like still I think age 4 I think right now as I'm
Wow.
so yeah, and it populates all those themes that everybody has expressed too, and then some like I didn't matter, I wasn't enough, I'm not good enough, this is all that it's ever going to be type of themes, right? I'm not being chosen, I'm not preferred, I'm tolerated, I'm not celebrated type of thing. I know that's a lot, right? So that's just a lot that's
Yeah.
come up.
But isn't it like, as painful as it is, isn't it reassuring to know like, wow, I'm really not alone in this. We all have that. We all have experienced this. We all have this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. My biggest thing is I want better for my kids. The end of the day, I want better for my kids. I want them to, believe and know that they are loved and, and develop their own families out of love and not repeat violence, not repeat hurt, not repeat pain.
And we're also kind of doing like an inner child ancestral too with these chests that are showing up, that showed up like with Odilia and that showed up with Angie. Let's see if you have any of those chests. Like, I feel like you have stacks and stacks and stacks because that's that ancestral inheritance. Like you say, you're born into violence and whatnot. And so, um, handing all those to your divine team. And then because you don't have to carry him anymore. I see you just getting them all out of like your storage closet and just handing them to your divine team, like stack after stack after stack after stack after stack. But then also being able to go to your daughter and be like, hey, do you have any? And she like kind of like makes this like funny like teenager like, do I have any? And so you're so you go and you're like, well, I'm here to help you get like dispose of them. And she's like, they're over there. So you're going and you're getting them with the divine team. And then you know how teenagers are, but then after you clear it, she's like, wow, thanks, mom. And then now you're going over to your son and you're like, hey, I'm here to help you clear these. And he's like, wow, thank you. Because it does look like he's just buried by him. He's like in an avalanche of them. So clearing them all. So, and that does suggest that like for it more, it comes more from the masculine side of the family, right? And it's, so if it's coming more from the man's side,
Mhm.
right? Which we know, right? That most of it comes from the father's side for them. So, but because he's the boy, he's carrying more of it. So dissolving all of that, handing it all over, handing it all over, handing it all over. to your divine team. And he's looking better in astral too. And it looks like your daughter is pointing out kind of like her own closet, like you had your closet of them. Well, she's making her closet of them. So you're going to the closet and helping her get them out of her closet.
You know
And
what's so interesting with the closet? She cannot sleep with her closet doors open.
wow.
That I just made that connection right now. Like, because that's maybe because she's just bearing so much pain in there. I don't know.
Yeah. 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 She seemed, oh, she's giving you a big old hug and she's telling you, thank you, Mom. Like, I really needed that. She's saying, thank you, Mom. I really needed that. And it looks like your son is also doing a, you try to clear one out, but he says, no, this is mine and it's on me to clear this. I got this and you don't have to do this for me. This is for me to do. So you were able to help clear a lot of them, but there's one that's like down by his feet that he's saying like, no, this is mine. It's my job to clear it. It's my job to release it. And I can do this and it's okay. And you don't have to do help with that. And you don't have to feel responsible for it either.
Because that's another thing too, like despite like the masculine violence and pain and all of that, there's residual pain that comes up, right? And that's resentment towards the feminine. So, how my mom gets on my nerves, like, she says she's proud and this and that, like, now I'm important in her life, right? And it's just very annoying.
Yeah.
I don't want that for my kids either. So there's that too.
Wow. Yeah. I'm trying to find an inner child SB to see what we can reprogram. And okay, okay, I got her. Oh, she has such a sense of justice. She needs to see justice. She feels like she's aware, she's very aware of what's right, she's very aware of what's wrong, and she wants to see justice done. And healing. She would like to see some justice and some healing. And it's almost like she's taken it, it's almost like she's put it on herself, taken personal responsibility for doing so, the healing and the justice. But relieving her of that, like duty or obligation that she put on herself, like she doesn't have to carry that. People can find their own way. Like if you want to hold the torch and you want to hold the space and you want to share the love or the healing, but you know what she needs? It's interesting. She needed like a magic mirror, or not a magic mirror, like a magic screen to where she could see the future. She needs to
Mhm.
know. She needs to know that it will, in fact, that justice will be served. So she's like looking in this like future this little screen that will show her the future. It's interesting too because as justice is served, she feels bad. She feels bad for the person as they reap their karmic consequences. And it's but this is interesting because she needed to see that because that's going to help her to feel like um less resentment and more compassion.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
I was working on that and with my mom. And I started to have some compassion for her. Like before it was my turn, I was working on that with her.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. And this is helping her even more getting compassion. Yeah. And there's a nice emotional release because now I'm seeing her. This is a little bit older inner child wounded version of yourself, but she's really just like, I really just want us all to be okay. I just want us all to be okay. I just want us all to be okay and healthy. I just want us to be healthy. That's all she ever wanted was just for everybody to be healthy. And so, and it does look like she wants to be the one. And we get this, right? We get this from like toxic or wounded or substance or, traumatic households is the child always wants to be the one to fix everything. Or we get that. I know I was that like too, and I relate to that. And that produces healers. But usually we heal everybody so great because we weren't able to heal our family. So there's that wounded inner part of us that needs a resolution. It's like, well, I couldn't fix my family, so now I want to fix everybody else in the world. But we can heal those who are in readiness for it, and we have the ability to do so, and we wouldn't have the ability to do so had we not come from that. You know? That's our training ground. And so shifting that perspective for her and helping her to realize she's a powerful healer because of the wounding she experienced. And maybe your family made that sacrifice of having the life expressing themselves in such a toxic way so that you could be the powerful healer that this world needed right now. But they had to do their part, and that part was to show up in a toxic way. I mean, it's possible, it's possible.
I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense. It totally makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
So there's gratitude in that's
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah. And there always has to be that member of the family that comes along that says, like, I'm here and I'm ready and willing to step into the role of healing the wounding that has come before my whole entire family line. And you wouldn't feel inspired to heal your whole entire family line or even help other people heal theirs if you didn't experience wounding yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. There. Yeah, there's the shift. The shift was for you, she just needed to make sense of it. She needed to see a reason for it. And that's her justice. I just didn't want it to be for nothing. And I can relate to that. Like if all of that suffering can have some positive outcome for yourself or the world, okay, at least it wasn't for nothing. Yeah, that's her shift. And I'm getting a thumbs up.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's going to help you too with your healing powers and your healing abilities and your healing work. It's going to help you to feel more comfortable in your I just feel it's going to level up your ability to show up as a healer. I see that.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Idiala, you've been so patient. Are you still here?
Yes, I'm on a walk.
Are you? Okay, so what were you able to do any, like, share what we got?
Well, I just know of like the scenario, not necessarily a specific scenario, but just the fact that my mother wasn't home. She was always working. I feel like that's like the start of my abandonment wound. So I would just think to the times when I would, for instance, when my fish died and I just had to call the nurse's station and, tell my mom that my fish died, and then I had to like prepare the body on my own and schedule my funeral, the funeral for my fish without no one was with me.
That's traumatic. How old were you?
I was probably either maybe 8 or 7.
Oh, that's traumatic. Had you ever was that your first uh introduction to mortality?
Hmm. I think it was. I think it was. Yeah, and he died in a pretty tragic way.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I was trying to change the water for the fish tank and he fell. The heater wasn't on, but he fell in the heater. And then I picked him back up to put him in the water and I thought he was okay, but he was dead. Harold, my first fish, my first pet.
Did you love him a lot?
I loved him. I was in tears. I was wrecked.
Well, the fact that you killed him. I mean, sorry
Yeah.
for being
Oh
so
my
blunt,
God.
but
Yeah.
you're gonna be like that. You're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I killed my fish."
Yeah. It was awful. It was awful. So
That's
yeah.
really true. Uh-huh. Go ahead.
hmm No, that was it. That was.
How did your mom show up for you? Was she
Here's
just
the
like,
thing. Here's the thing. She laughed
oh,
when I told her that Harold was dead because I was like hysterically crying on the phone.
She thought I was joking, so she was laughing. So that's what I.
Oh, so she wasn't laughing because she thought it was funny. She was laughing because she didn't realize that you were actually being serious.
Yeah, she thought that I was joking. Yeah, but still.
But that had its imprint.
Yeah, because she also, she comes from a place where it's like animals are not things you cry over,
Okay.
especially not a fish.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, for a child, that can be really traumatic,
yeah,
especially because it is an introduction to mortality.
yeah,
And at a certain age in our life, it really lands like, wait a minute, we're here and then we're not, or something's here and then it's not. And then that begins your
yeah,
relationship with your understanding of mortality. And that's gonna bring up a lot. And so, okay, so I'm gonna visit. So you say you were about 8?
yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like she's just really mad at herself. And she's like just like and there is the shock. Like it actually put you into shock. It was that traumatic. There's a little bit of shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yeah, like the denial. Like I can't believe that just happened, or did that really just happen, or that
Right.
disbelief. There's some of that disbelief with it. Yeah, and I
Mhm.
recognize I've experienced shock enough, like from so I know what that looks like, and it looks like the brain can't, you know, but then you kind of check out like because it's too much. So I'm just gonna give her. I'm just there giving her a hug.
Yeah.
So I'm giving her a hug and I'm like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Okay. And then offering her some healing. Okay, she's drinking it, she's drinking it, she's drinking it, she's drinking it. She's drinking it. She's just like, I'm so mad at myself. Sometimes people process, but yeah, now she's focused on the funeral. She's like, he needs a funeral.
Yeah.
So she does know about death enough to know that something dies, it needs a funeral.
Right.
And she's just taking this responsibility very seriously.
Yeah. I invited my friends. It was the whole
Oh,
thing. They came over.
it was the whole thing. But there's a lot of anger turned inward. Like you were mad at
Mhm.
yourself. You blamed yourself, right?
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Okay, so I'm gonna go to your fish funeral. Okay. Did you make him a little box? Did you
I
bury him?
did. He was in a shoebox, and then we buried him in front of this tree in front of my apartment building.
What kind of fish was it?
He was a beta fish.
Oh, we have a beta. I love our beta.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so okay, so okay, so now your friends are gone and it's just you and you're just sitting there by the tree, just kind of taking it all in. It does still look like it created, okay, so it created a fracture. A little bit of
mhm.
that trauma created a fracture. There's still a little bit of fracture from the shock. So I'm gonna help you get back in. So I'm just there to be like, because if it's too much, we leave. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and that's kind of what shock is, or that is what shock is on the psychic spiritual level. That's what shock is. It's too much, so we have to check out to because we can't because it's too much until we can. And then okay, so inviting your divine team of angels and guides. Oh, okay. All right. So what they're telling me is part of why it was so traumatic for you is just it was that memory of previous lifetimes of witnessing death and traumatic.
Yeah, that is like a huge thing I'm working through.
Yeah. So, because you've witnessed a lot in
Yeah.
previous lifetimes. So that just brought it up. And you've witnessed and experienced the loss of loved ones that were
Mhm.
very close to you in very brutal ways in many of your
Yeah.
lifetimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that just brought that up for you in your childhood. But what does that suggest? That suggests that, oh, okay, that's something you can clear in this lifetime. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell inner child Ideala, hey, you know what? I'm just sitting next to you and I'm just like, hey, you know what? That same spirit of your fish is gonna find you again in a new fish. You can find a new fish body. Oh, she's mad though. She stands up and she's like, no, it can't. She runs away.
Dude.
She's like, what are you talking about? Who are you anyway? Runs away. I'm like, well, I tried. Okay, so I'm gonna go. But it's good to just get a gauge on their headspace, right? Or in their emotional where
Yeah.
they're at. So okay, so I'm just like, I follow it behind you. Yeah.
Oh.
And they so she stops and looks at me and like in total and complete earnest, like if I want to know, like if that's really a thing, like I want to believe it. I want to believe that. But then you're like, it's Harold. Harold was your fish's name.
Yes, it was
You're like,
Harold.
but I don't know if Harold would even want me, like, come back to me because I
Right.
just didn't take good care of him. And so I'm gonna tell her, well, you know what? I'm your magic fairy godmother, and I can talk to spirits and I can talk to animal spirits. And Harold says that he's not mad at you. Harold doesn't blame you. He knows it was an accident. And he would love to be with you again in a new fish body if you would let him. Well, let's get her a new fish. We're getting her a new fish in astral. She's setting it up and she is setting up the tank to where she is taking all the precautions as she sets up the tank. She's doing everything just right, but she's excited and she's happy because instead of feeling angry at herself and mad at herself for for screwing up, right? I mean, it was really just an accident, right? But she felt like she screwed up. So instead of feeling mad at herself, and that shifted into feeling mobilized and inspired to be extra diligent and extra careful and extra protective. And it gives her this sense of purpose versus that sense of defeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh.
so she's setting up this beautiful fish tank. And it's so pretty. It's got all the cool little decorations in it. And then she goes to like the fish store and she's looking at all the betas and she's like, are you Harold? Are you Harold? Are you Harold? Are you Harold? She's looking for them all. Yeah. And she's seeing all of them and it's almost like it's almost like the last one she looks at. She's like, that's Harold. Oh my God. And she starts like crying. So there's the release. There's the release because she found Harold. She found him. It was like at the last one she looked for. She was almost about to give up because she's like, none of these
Oh.
are Harold. But then she finally finds Harold. So I can assure you we would not be saving the fish. But then finally she talked me into it and I got a beta. And so anyway, and I always see betas. So I can see them like I see her with all these and they're all in these little tubs. And anyway, but Violet was like, we saved one fish. We saved one beta. It's like, you know what? If we could just save one, one's enough. Because
So precious.
yeah, she wanted to save one from the fish store. She had to save one
Oh.
beta fish from the fish store. She'd save them all if it was up to her. Okay, so you got Harold. He's in his little tub. You're holding him so carefully. You're putting him in a special bag. Like, you don't even want to carry him in the container. You got him in a bag so he's more secure. And you're bringing him home and you're very carefully and slowly putting him in his tank and he's swimming around and there's some more emotional release. And I will say that I'm not just saying that to make you feel better. Animal spirits are your totems and they will come to you in new bodies. They will find you again in different bodies. And so if you have a pet that you loved a lot, a cat or a dog or a fish or any animal at all, and they
Mhm.
died, that spirit of that animal will find a new animal body to reincarnate into to find you again. So that really is a thing. And I've seen it. I've seen it a lot of times. And I've experienced it with my cats. I have cats that freaking always come back in a new body to me.
Oh,
My whole freaking life. I have that same animal cat spirit that reincarnates in a new cat animal body with me my whole life. Isn't that crazy?
That's precious.
Yeah. So and I've seen it like with other people too. So I hope that gives you some comfort, like maybe Harold's ready to come back to you, and
Mm.
Mercury's retrograde, and you're doing inner child healing. So maybe that would be a really good time is to reclaim. So feeling comfortable and confident in yourself to be able to show up in relationships or situations, or even any caregiving position where you know that you're going to be extra diligent. And that's the gift you get from that diligence. We have to have those experiences to learn, even if it's traumatic and accidental,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the hold on. The angels aren't giving me a thumbs up yet. What else does she need? Oh, oh, okay. She wanted her mom. Was your mom not able to go to the funeral?
No, she was separate.
Yeah. Oh, because the funeral had to happen right away.
It happened the next day.
Oh, okay, but she had to work. She wanted her mom at the funeral.
No.
So we'll have our mom at the funeral with you. And she's like hugging you and giving you that love and support. And that's what you needed. That's it. That's also what you needed to feel
Oh,
like you're supported. Like
yeah.
you have that, like, I get it that my mom maybe couldn't be there for me, but at least she's there when it matters.
Mhm.
She's there when it counts. Just to know that you don't have to face that challenge all alone, you know?
Yeah.
Um, And I love you so much. And thank you for showing up and have a beautiful, blessed day. And we'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.